I just want to thank everybody for coming here to southwestern Pennsylvania. I'm just so proud that we're rolling this out right here in my district. You know, I'm Guy Reschenthal. I represent PA 14 right here in southwestern Pennsylvania, and I can tell you thank you. You know, I tell everybody, I've been so fortunate in my life. I've literally traveled all over the world, both in the Navy and in this job. But I tell everybody, there's no place that's more beautiful on the entire planet than right here in southwestern Pennsylvania. And I think some of my colleagues now see what I'm talking about, right? But it's just not the beauty of the landscape, it's the people. We work hard. We believe in America, in American exceptionalism. We have the values that built this country, and frankly, values that we're lacking in Washington, D.C. So it speaks volumes that we're not rolling this out with the Capitol behind us, because it's the Beltway pundits, it's the so-called experts, it's the one-party rule that we've had for 2 years that have led to the disaster that we're in right now. It's going to take the values of southwestern Pennsylvania and the real America to get us back on track. So that's why we're right here. Well, I want to thank DMI and I want to thank Ray Yeager for hosting us and having us here. The tour was amazing. I told some of my colleagues a story. I don't know if people know this, but I grew up with the founders' grandkids. We were really good friends. I know Pete is somewhere in the audience now, but I vividly remember being told about Pete's grandfather coming here to the United States with $5 in his pocket. And we looked at this business, we looked at what Pete and his family had, and all of us, all that group of kids knew that in America, the American dream was real, it was attainable. If an immigrant can come here with $5 and create this, we can do so much as well. But unfortunately, that American dream, I think, is being threatened right now. It's the commitment to America that will get us back on track and make that American dream always attainable. But I'd like to introduce Ray to say a little bit about DMI, and thank you again for having us here.
So welcome to DMI. Just a little about DMI. We are a world-class lean manufacturer. If you get a chance to take a tour later, what you'll see is Industry 4.0 in action. Our facilities utilize advanced technology with digital capabilities. So you'll see the best of the best as you walk around. Additionally, I want to mention that our employees, our amazing employees, are so proud that we are one of the best sustainable manufacturers in Western Pennsylvania. In fact, we are the only manufacturer in Western Pennsylvania with gold certified, zero waste to landfill. And that's pretty amazing. That means we divert. So we divert 96% of our waste away from the landfill into other uses, which they are very proud of. They made happen. So after this is over, if you'd like to take a tour, look for somebody with the DMI logo. We'll be happy to show you around. And again, I want to thank you for being here on this historical day. This is amazing. Guy?
Thanks, Ray. I appreciate it. I want to introduce next my good friend, Kevin McCarthy. But before I do, I just want to point out two things. Number one, this commitment to America, every member here had input in it, and members all across the conference from all over the United States contributed to that. And that shows you one thing. We're not going to have this top-down leadership. Kevin McCarthy is going to rely on all of us to have bottom-up leadership that comes from the districts and goes onto the national platform. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't point this out. If you look around, we got members here from New York all the way to the border with Tony Gonzalez. We've got people that have different approaches, all the way from Dave Joyce to Marjorie Taylor Greene. But we're all united behind Kevin McCarthy. He's the one that's unified the party. He's the one that came up with this plan. He's the one that's going to take us back to the majority. And with that, it's my honor to introduce my good friend, the next Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
Well, thank you, Guy. First of all, thank you. Do you not believe America is exceptional? I want to thank Ray and the whole DMI team and family. Thank you for letting us come in. Thank you for what you do. Wake up every single morning to go to work. You know, Ray didn't tell you this is a 24-hour job. They're working this shift each and every day. That's what the people dream about in America. To all the members back here, and what we're going to roll out today is a commitment to America. In Washington. Not Washington, D.C., but Washington County, Pennsylvania. And you want to know why? Because it's about you. It's not about us. We've spent the last year and a half, all the Republican members in conference, going throughout the country listening to the challenges, fighting what the Democrats have been doing. And we want to roll it out to you, to the entire country, to know exactly what we will do if you would trust us and give us the ability to take a new direction for this country. What the commitment is a plan. A plan for a new direction. You know, I've watched this one-party control. And as we went across this country listening, we heard the same thing. Kitchen table, to dining room table, to inside the factory. Can I afford it? Can I afford to fill up my tank? Can I afford the food, the milk? Can I find baby formula? You know, I ask everybody across this country, could you afford to give up 1 month of your wages? 1 month of your wages. The sad part is these Democratic policies has already taken 1 month of your wages. So now the struggle that you have is you're living through 12 months with only 11 months pay now because inflation is so high. We warned the Democrats not to do that American Rescue Plan, but it wasn't just us warning them. Larry Summers, a Secretary of Treasury Democrat, told them don't do it, you'd bring inflation. Steve Ratner, a Democrat advisor to Obama, calls it the original sin of inflation. And then we watch what they did to our communities. Defunding of the police. We got crime problems from Portland to Philadelphia now. With DAs and prosecutors that look the other way. We've watched what's happened to our border, the millions of people who are just walking across. People on the terrorist watch list. But now we're watching it create every community to be a border community. Fentanyl. The #1 killer of Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. That poison starts in China and comes across our border. Do you realize it's killing 300 Americans every day? It's like an airliner crashing each day. If that happened 3 days in this country, we'd say it's a crisis and we'd change it. But the White House tells us it's secure. Then we watched a Washington that uses their political power to go after people for their own political beliefs. We watched children get a lost learning left behind. That's what happened with the Democrats, because they control Washington. They control the House, the Senate, the White House. They control the committees. They control the agencies. It's their plan, but they have no plan to fix all the problems they created. So you know what? We've created a commitment to America. And we're going to talk about it today. We want an economy that is strong. That means you can fill up your tank. You can buy the groceries. You have enough money left over to go to Disneyland and save for a future. That the paychecks grow, they no longer shrink. We have a plan for a nation that's safe. That means your community will be protected. Your law enforcement will be respected. Your criminals will be prosecuted. We believe in a future that's built on freedom. That your children come first. They're taught to dream big. And we believe in a check and balance. That government should be accountable. No longer special interest. We should work for you, not the other way around like it is today. You know, we walked through this facility, and as we toured this country, too long China has too much control of our supply chain. We're going to bring that back to America. So if you're like everybody else we hear, whether you can afford it, whether you feel safe, the challenge of your children getting lost behind, or a government that's run amok, who has a plan to change that course? We do. The Democrats have no plan for the problem they created. If you trust us, hold us accountable. We're putting it out to the entire country. This is what we'll do. But on that very first day that we're sworn in, you'll see that it all changes. Because on our very first bill, we're going to repeal 87,000 IRS agents. Our job is to work for you, not go after you. Our job is to make America stronger. We believe America's more than a country. America's an idea. We can secure our border. We can become energy independent, where your price of gas is lower. We can build an education system that has a parent's bill of rights, that you have a say in your kids' education. And we could be a check and balance on the reign in this government that's going after the individuals. If you believe like us, join with us. Because this job won't be easy. We'll get it through the House. We need your help to get it all the way to his desk. You know, the president last night already attacked me in this plan. Maybe if I caused that much damage, I'd try to change the discussion too. But you know what? I welcome it. I challenge the president to join with us. Let's go across the country and let's debate what his policies has done to America and our plan for a new direction. And let's let America make the decision for the best way for this country to go forward. So join with us, and thank you for listening. This is just a small microcosm of all those who worked on it. We are so blessed in the Republican conference to have so many bright minds that were out there listening. And we're very fortunate to have an amazing whip. Many of you know him, Steve Scalise. He's kind of a tiger. He comes from Louisiana. And he's going to continue to fight for you. Let me give you our whip, Steve Scalise.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, DMI, for opening up this beautiful facility. It's great to walk around and see Pittsburgh steel workers making real things in America. That's what we want more of. Obviously, the threats that we've seen over the last 2 years to the American dream, to the ability for people to be able to think, maybe my kids can have a better opportunity than me. That is at risk right now. And it's at risk because far-left policies have led to record spending. When you see every bill that comes out of Congress, not hundreds of billions, but trillions of dollars of borrowed money, new taxes, 87,000 IRS agents. You know, all of my years in Congress, I've never had a single phone call from anybody saying, Steve, please add more people to the IRS. If there's 87,000 people needed in America, it's at the border to secure America's border, not over at the IRS to go after small businesses and hard-working families. So we could have just sat back and said, look at how bad their policies have been, give us the majority and it'll be different. That to us isn't good enough. We wanted to lay out a bold conservative vision to show the country there's hope again. There's not just one direction that's far left, that's big government socialism, that's wrecking this great country. There is a better way. The commitment to America is going to show the country, if you give us a Republican majority in the House, these are the things we will do. We will bring bills to the floor. We will have great debates to solve the problems that Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi created. You're concerned about inflation like us? We have a plan to reduce inflation. You're concerned about high energy costs, not just at the pump. Gas prices are too high, but this winter I heard it's going to be a little bit cold in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have a plan to lower energy costs, to get us back not only to lower energy costs, but energy independence. We shouldn't be buying oil and natural gas from Russia or Iran or Saudi Arabia. We can make it right here in America, like you make steel in Pittsburgh. And that's what we're laying out, how to do it, how to secure America's border. It was not that long ago that we had a secure American border. And it's not like we have to reinvent the wheel, but they broke the wheel. We're here to fix it, and we have a plan to do just that, and we're proud to write it down on paper. And if Joe Biden doesn't like this plan, I think it's about time Joe Biden has to be asked the question, Mr. President, if there's a bill put on your desk to lower energy costs, will you sign it or veto it? And if you veto it, I think now the country understands what's at stake. We're going to give him that dilemma. We're going to give him that opportunity to wake up like we do, to fight for the American people, not to make things harder for the American people. That's what the Commitment to America is all about, to show people that once again there could be hope, there could be opportunity, so that when you wake up, it's not just to go to work for yourself, it's to go to work to make sure your kids can have a better future. And there's nowhere else in the world where that opportunity exists. And if they ruin that opportunity in America, there is no backup plan. We cannot let this great nation fall. We're not going to let this great nation fall. America can rise up again, and you're going to see that with this Commitment to America. And I appreciate the opportunity to come and present it here with all of my colleagues and the leadership of Kevin McCarthy. And we've got a great team. You're going to see a lot of my colleagues talking about the different parts of this we put work into. But our conference chair who leads that effort and helping us all stay on focus of what this is all about is a Congresswoman from New York, Elise Stefanik.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve, and of course, thank you to DMI, as well as Congressman Guy Reschenthaler for hosting us in his beautiful district today. I'll tell you, I represent a district in upstate New York in the North Country that looks a lot like where we are in Pennsylvania today. And what I hear from my constituents is people are struggling. Families are struggling to make ends meet. Whether you go to the grocery store, whether you're budgeting in preparation for those home heating bills that are skyrocketing this winter, or whether you struggled this past year to fill up your tank of gas. People feel that they are working harder than they ever had before, but they're falling further behind. And the American people are smart. They know that it's a direct result of the failed policies of one-party Democrat rule in Washington. And there is a better way. We are here to help, and this is our commitment to America. These ideas came from the American people. All of our members listen to their constituents. I always say the best ideas come from my constituents directly. And when it comes to an economy that's strong, making sure that we stop the trillions and trillions of reckless government spending that we have seen under Democrat rule, that will immediately help lower the cost of goods as we seek to rein in inflation. Unleash American energy independence to lower the price of gas, lower that price of home heating bills. How about a nation that's safe? You see the headlines, whether it's on local or national news every day. We see crime skyrocketing. That is a direct result of Democrats' one-party defund the police policies and rhetoric. And let me tell you, whether you're in New York or whether you're in Pennsylvania, we proudly back the blue. Let's give all of our law enforcement officers a round of applause. That's why in our Commitment to America, under A Nation That's Safe, House Republicans will immediately ensure that we hire 200,000 more police officers across this country to make sure that our communities are safe. We will go after the radical leftist prosecutors, DAs, who are refusing to abide by the rule of law and are prioritizing the criminals rather than the law-abiding citizens. In our commitment, we also have a future that's built upon freedom. I am proud to be the newest mom in Congress. I am a mom to my one-year-old Sam. And I will tell you, moms and dads across this country, they know that parents are the primary stakeholders in their kids' education, which is why we will pass a Parents' Bill of Rights. lastly, a government that's accountable. We work for you, not the other way around. We work to serve the American people. And what we see with a Democrat controlling both the House and Senate is they feel entitled. They feel like it's the other way around, that you work for them. Not so in a Republican majority. We will hold this administration accountable. We will make sure that we are conducting oversight. We will root out the corruption and return it to the people's house. So join us in supporting the Commitment to America, a new direction. Democrats have no plan. House Republicans have a plan, and it's our commitment to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, if you're out there listening, go to commitmenttoamerica.com and join up. Now, we're not here to talk to you. We also want to listen to you. A lot of you are business owners. A lot of you are parents and others and want to talk a little more about what's happening in America today. So I got a lot of bright people behind me that worked on all this to take the tough questions. So let's go to our first question.
Good morning. My name is Mark Fox. I'm a third-generation Ford dealer from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, which is south of here. And we celebrated our 100th anniversary last year as a Ford dealership. I employ about 40 people, and we have seen almost every economic condition in the years that we've been in business. The storm clouds facing us, economic storm clouds facing us now appear daunting. Our business, 16,000 other car dealerships across America, and all of our customers are facing challenges on multiple fronts. Increased and unnecessary government regulation and oversight, including an out-of-control FTC. Rising interest rates for our customers and their loans, high gasoline prices, continued supply chain problems, reduced consumer confidence, which influences negatively consumer spending, and as you have mentioned, out of control and uncontrolled government spending. What will the Commitment to America do to address these very real concerns? Thank you.
Great question. The only thing I say, good thing you're not from California because they wouldn't give you a choice of what type of car you can sell, thanks to my governor. Patrick McHenry, our ranking member, soon to be chair, Financial Services, done a lot of work on this in the task force. Patrick?
Well, great question. Thanks. No, it's Patrick McHenry. You thought it was Patrick Henry, and I understand it. Applause. But thank you for the question. The number one pressing economic issue that every American is facing is inflation. As Leader McCarthy, future Speaker McCarthy said, that means because of Biden's inflationary policies, you're sacrificing 1 month of pay just to get the same things you bought a year ago because of their policies. So what do we do about it? That means fiscal discipline and sound money. Fiscal discipline means that we have to do our part in Congress and stop the out-of-control spending and wasteful spending that this administration has pushed. This Congress has spent more money than any Congress on record. We have to stop that. So the number one thing is to stop digging the ditch that is making things worse. That's number one. Number two is sound money. That means we have to have oversight of what's happening in the administration and go after the wasteful spending of the last administration and return to normalcy. That $1 today means $1 tomorrow. So that's the first issue. You've seen this front and center with a lack of availability of certain parts. Even if you want to sell the car, it may not be available. And so what we have to do is bring back these supply chains to trusted allies and trusted partners. China is not a friend. They're not an ally. They're a competitor. And we have to start acting as Americans like we're competing with them. So, along those lines, we have to be better. That means we have to have regulatory policies that enable us to have these businesses here at home so we can compete with China and everyone globally. We have to be better. We also have to make sure that they're not advantaged here in the United States like they currently have been. The Chinese have been advantaged. So we have to change policies, trade policies, so we have trusted trading partners, and we don't advantage China. Additionally, not just supply chain issues, but we have a skills issue here in this country. We have available jobs, We have people that need skills to get those jobs. We have policies that can link people with the jobs that they want, and that is through a skilled workforce. We have a bold, broad plan to address the economic issues that America is facing today. The final thing is what everyone understands, is that under Democrats, your taxes go up, your regulation goes up. And what the Democrat Congress has just done is give us the best example when they want to hire 87,000 people to go after billionaires. They say, do they really need 87,000 people to go after billionaires? No, they're coming after your PayPal account. So they've changed regulations so they can look at your bank accounts of $600 or more transactions. So those 87,000 IRS agents are not about someone else. They're about every one of us that are taxpayers. We're going to stop that, we're going to check that, and we're going to put you back in charge of your own accounts.
And what would be important to you and every other American? We're not picking one form of energy. We believe in all the above. And so we're going to lower the price of gasoline. We're going to make America energy independent with American jobs, and we're going to make the world safer. And as Garrett Graves would tell you, American natural gas, much of it that comes from Pennsylvania, is 40% cleaner than Russian natural gas.